Welcome to this 7-minute video briefing for the Safeguarding Adults Review on Chelsea. My name is David Pride and I chair the SAR panel. If you would like more details on this safeguarding review, the full report and learning briefing are available on the Kent and Medway Safeguarding Adult Board's website. Chelsea was a white single male aged 66 when he sadly passed away in hospital in 2022. In 2012, Chelsea's left leg was amputated below the knee, and from 2017, Chelsea suffered from type 2 diabetes, which required hospital dialysis 3 times a week. Chelsea lived alone. He rarely drank and did not use recreational drugs. He did enjoy supporting his favourite football team, and this explains why his surviving sister picked Chelsea as the pseudonym for this report. Chelsea did not always follow medical advice or seek treatment for some of the conditions he suffered from. These were judged to be unwise choices at that time rather than an issue of capacity. In the months leading up to his passing, there were strong indications of hoarding and clutter. This STAR has identified a few key points that I would like to share with you. There does appear to be a degree of uncertainty on what actions professionals can take when a person with a terminal illness, but not facing imminent death, declines medical treatment or care support. There is a national strategy in place for palliative and end-of-life care, which is managed by the Kent and Medway ICB. Actions are in hand by the ICB to heighten professional awareness of what this strategy can provide for people who face these life challenges. Please look out for these briefing materials. Primary and secondary healthcare providers have recognised there would have been some benefit in calling a multidisciplinary team meeting to provide a more cohesive medical response to Chelsea's needs as his health declined. Given there were significant indications of hoarding and self-neglect in the last year of his life, not invoking the multi-agency hoarding and self-neglect policy was also a missed opportunity. I understand a person can decline medical care, and unless there are issues of mental capacity, that is their right. I also understand when it comes to hoarding and self-neglect, there could be tensions complying with the person's wishes and what they believe is to be an acceptable living environment. Professionals can be reluctant to judge. For instance, people with mobility limitations will store items in a way that allows them easy access. This can appear to a more able-bodied person to be disorganised clutter. However, in this case, rotting food on the floor and an infestation of flies was not an issue of mobility. It represented a serious risk of infection and was a direct consequence of self-neglect. The hoarding and self-neglect policy provides a process to help professionals manage this difficult issue. An important byproduct of this policy is it will generate a written record of the rationale behind any decisions professionals may decide to make. This is not the only SAR recently where this policy has not been used. Despite extensive promotion of the benefits this policy provides, there still seems to be a general reluctance to activate it, possibly because of the professional conflict I have already mentioned about going against a person's wishes. Another reason put forward is a misconception that if an individual is judged to have capacity, then there is not much adult social care can do. This is not entirely correct. Adult social care can commission additional support from third sector agencies and engage directly with the person to offer their support, building on their strengths, and at the same time complying with their personal wishes. But adult social care can only do this if they are aware of the current challenges that person faces. The SAR panel concluded had the self-neglect and hoarding policy been activated and adult social care made aware of Chelsea's deteriorating situation, a Section 9 care assessment would have concluded Chelsea qualified for caring support. Whether Chelsea would have accepted this support is, however, another matter. But the point is this: Chelsea was never given that option. I would encourage you to revisit this policy so you understand the potential benefits it can bring with a structured process of multi-agency engagement. Can I also promote the one-day online courses for hoarding and self-neglect that are available from the Safeguarding Adults Board training team? Details on how to book this course are on the website. Policy may not, in the end, deliver a successful resolution. Self-neglect and hoarding are complex issues, but activating the policy will demonstrate health and social care agencies have shared information and have tried to provide a service in a joined up and measured way. In other words, it is better to activate the policy and engage with health and social care colleagues rather than second guess what the outcome might be. Several organisations carry out mental capacity assessments on Chelsea. This was good practice. When there are no signs or concerns around capacity, it is not necessary to conduct a full capacity assessment to prove this is the case. However, when decisions are made that are considered by professionals to be unwise and could lead to a preventable death, more details need to be recorded as to why capacity is not an issue and what risk mitigation has been considered, which includes, if appropriate, any advanced care planning and any advanced decision making. This should be viewed as best practice in such. Thank you for listening, and if you have not already done so, please take advantage of the online training that is available.